CFR?
Here.
Here. Hidalgo County? Stark County? Brownsville?
Here.
County Art.
Great. Anybody send public comments? All right. We need approval of a motion to approve the minutes of September 29, 2021.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I apologize. You have a revision that it's so for the doggo for the camera, we made those changes since.
Okay. Any other corrections? No. All in favor? Wait, we need a motion. I need a motion. I'm sorry. Mission? Yes, sir. Second. Takes on. Second. All in favor? Opposed? Passes. Yeah. All right. Consent agenda. You want to take over there?
Sir? Yes, sir. People moving on to chairman, like the person. We do have something I want to give you before we have the vote to staff. I just say thank you. All right, so thank you for your guidance and mutual vision that you've had for the art forward. I need guidance.
Thank you, sir. Judge, if you allow me just a few words. Bittersweet, right? It was a long road getting here. I want to thank the staff for the hard work they did, both in Cameron County, San Benito, Harlingen, and of course, everybody in Brownsville that came together to make sure this happened. It was a very labor-intensive endeavor, but I want to thank the elected officials that are here and the previous elected officials that are all involved with this, because without them, nothing would have happened. They had the inside division to be sure this got done for the betterment of our community. It was never a Brownsville project or a FAR or McAllen project, a mission, the region. And now we are at the table and we're seeing the fruits of those labors now. And so I'm very excited at the fact that it was done, and I'm honored at the fact that I was elected as chairman, and we'll still be attending the meetings. He means 10 o'clock at night, usually when I call him for updates. That's right. Just to clarify. But no, but I just want to make sure you guys all know, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for this endeavor. But Valley, appreciate it. Sir.
Item 2.1, discussion and action on election of vice chair. Pursuant to the RGVMPO bylaw, section 2.03, term of office, both of the chair and vice chair shall serve 2-year terms in any given term. Chair shall be from either Cameron or Hidalgo County, with the vice chair being from the other county and succeeding the chair when chair's term is complete. No one shall serve twice unless all board members have served at least once. With that, we're prepared for selection of a new vice chair with Judge Bonilla taking over as the chairman, sir.
That is correct. And just for record keeping, it was always the intent, it requires all board members to vote, but it was always the intent to protect Cameron County, Hidalgo County, in case there was some shenanigans, to be honest. We wanted to be sure that in this case, it's time for the vice to put it on. The gentleman agreement, the original offer, Darling and everybody, was we never wanted to or tell Cameron, vice versa. We don't. So it was the understanding that Hidalgo's turn to pick whatever it is, vice chair, chief, that Cameron followed suit and not give opposing. You can't be like. The danger there is it's Cameron's turn to be somebody they perceive to be their elected leader. You do not want Hidalgo County nominee votes and not allowing your votes. That was always the intent. Okay, both MPOs. You guys can pick who you want. Both the prevailing MPO dictates who they want, and the supporting MPOs acknowledges and they want. That way, there's no ever any abuse of MPO. So I just want to make sure that was clear. The Bible says that that was the intent to protect Cameron, because right now it's as big as but we know we could never was our base, and so it's very important to respect each other. So with that, I just want to click. Then just entertain a motion, right? A motion, Hidalgo. All right, do a second. So then there's only a nominee.
That would be a call for.
All right. So then, is there any other? Okay. Mayor Pine, you said? Yes. Oh, do we have a second? I'll second. That's fine. I'll second. So now we.
You had a motion.
I know. Voted on that one, right? You have to vote on your motion, right? And your second. Right? I mean, sorry, the other way around. So the first nominee that was placed forward by McAllen, of course, was the county, and right now it's Fuentes. So I need a show of hands. Those are in favor of that motion. Please raise your hand. 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, represent camera.
For the record, text
I understand. Yes, sir. Okay. What's the count? Hold your hands up, please. So, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they're weighted, correct? Okay, so what does that come out to?
Mr. Cameron,
Yes, sir.
waited.
We already voted.
16. Waited.
How many from Hidalgo? Just take out camera. How many weighted votes we? How many votes do you have? Sure. Guys should be. Just please add up the Hidalgo County.
11.
Just out of Hidalgo County. Not hard.
Well, Hidalgo is a city.
And how many total votes are available? Yeah, I just wanted for the record, else. So it's
11 out of 18.
11 out of 18. Obviously, the motion passed. Next.
Chair Trevino.
What?
Sorry.
All right.
Sharon, thank you, brother. Thank you. All right. First things first, I want to echo what Andrew said, and I want to add to it. Many of you were involved more than 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when we first started having these discussions. As the mayor alluded to, some of those elected officials aren't with us here today, but they were instrumental in getting us to this point. And in particular, I want to give credit where credit is due. Mayor Ambrosio, about 3.5 years ago, he and I started meeting along with several of the other ones, and we would have smaller meetings whenever there were any particular issues. And the thing that while we may not have always agreed on everything, we got to the point of a compromise and realizing that the merging of the three MPOs was to the betterment, was to be beneficial to the entire valley. And I want to thank you, first of all, for being the first chairman of the merged MPO. It was not an easy. Actually, I think he got to serve a little bit longer than 2 years because we were under unique circumstances. So I think that'll stand out. But no one could have seen the impact of COVID affecting our operations as we were starting from an infancy. And but most importantly, the message that you and I agreed to from day one was taking a regional aspect and making sure that every voice is heard, from the smallest community in the valley to the largest communities. And look forward to your continued leadership and assistance and guidance as we move forward with regards to this. I hope I can count on you. I won't call you at 10 o'clock at night, but I will call you, and you know that you can count on my support going forward. And I want to congratulate Commissioner Fuentes for his election as vice chair. Obviously, very, very important going forward. So, but want to thank you and God bless you for all the work that you've done for us, and we look forward to continuing to see you. All right. That in mind, item 2.3, discussion action to approve resolution 2021-20 regarding programming of FY 2019-2020 CSA funds.
Good afternoon, County Judge and members of the Transportation Policy Board. As you may know, my name is Eva Garcia, and I am the Planner 3 Biped Program Coordinator for RGVMPO. This is an item that we have discussed a couple of months now that has evolved, and finally we are ready to present this resolution 2021-20, which states the history of the funding, which came from Cameron County MPO in 2019. In 2018, the city of McAllen was awarded partial funding for the initial request for the Jackson Hike and Bike Project Phase 2. However, with some funding becoming available, being de-obligated or deprogrammed, the RGVMPO is the responsible agency tasked with selecting these projects. After review from staff and with our district support, we did present the city of McAllen's project as one that is capable of obligating the funds per the TASA requirements. And so with that, we took that to the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee and the Technical Advisory Committee, who both fully supported the funding going to this these communities for this project. Are there any questions?
Chairman, I'd like to clarify. I know what Eva meant, but funds came from the Hidalgo, not the Cameron County.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
It's okay. And the city.
But you made a very good person. The first name.
And just she states it well in the resolution, but just clear to make sure everybody's on board. The $408,000 was selected to go to McAllen because at the time of the Hidalgo County MPO, McAllen was the next recipient in line based upon the scoring process for the funding, and that's the process that we followed that first, since that was the funding from that time.
All right. Any questions? A motion to approve by Allen, second by City of Florida. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
you.
Thank you. 2.4, discussion and action on revising TAC and TPB meeting dates schedule.
Yes, sir. The TAC meet dates are there in your packet for review. It's already been voted on. I'm asking the policy this evening to consider action and voting upon approving moving our January date forward 1 week sooner to January 9th, 2022 at 1:30 here in this location. The request is because we have tip update we're going through. We actually need to have that information in the portal by the following Tuesday. So our regular board meeting would not fall until after that. This would allow staff time to upload that after proper public involvement and action by policy.
That coincide with
I do not. No, sir. I would think that it would be the week after.
And the other reason why we had a deadline going, Andrew?
Yes, sir. The 25th for that. Oh, and I apologize, Chairman. Also, December 15th. Traditionally, we've always had separately, and since merged, they merged November, December policy board meeting. And this would follow directly on the same day as the call, December 15th. So we're asking for a revision of those 2 dates. I
All right, so
apologize.
that's your recommendation. Anybody have any questions? If not, is there a motion? Motion to approve the recommended change, seconded by CCRMA. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 2.5, discussion on the 2023-2026 CIP revision schedule.
Yes, sir. Just briefly, in the packet is a timeline for you to share with your staff. We'll make sure that this goes out several times. We have a full tip STIP revision, and we will be going through the next calendar year. It will be a 23-26. So we'll be working with your staff to incorporate all changes that need to be done, advancing projects as appropriate. And also inside the packet is a spelled out timeline. It actually spells out time from now. So my staff is already working on updating the verbiage of the document. When we talk about the full tip, we're talking about just a table of projects. We're talking about meeting the federal mandates that we have to do in the 4-year horizon planning process as well. So already updating that. And this is strictly for information purposes, to be sure everybody was aware at the time and at least had it as we move forward with your stuff.
All right. Any questions? Any concern or changes in regards to the timeline? If not, is there a motion to approve it's just informational?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
It's just information.
Thank you. All right. There's no further discussion. We'll move on to item 2.6, discussion on the RGV thoroughfare plan amendments.
Good afternoon. We are still in the process of updating our thoroughfare plan for the 2021 process. The deadline for submitting towards the thoroughfare plan is December 17th. So that's the cutoff for receiving amendments towards 2021. Once all amendments are received, they will be presented in March of 2022 to the TAC and Policy Board. Once approved, they will be taken to each county commissioners' courts. Once approved, there is when the updates and amendments will be going live actually. And maps can be requested, paper maps if those are needed. Just please also keep in mind, this is the perfect time, to reserve right away for your projects, all of that. So that's what this process is set forth for, to do those type of initial planning, or planning in other words. So if there are any questions for the thoroughfare plan, I could take this time.
Any questions? All right, this is also for discussion.
Yes, sir.
All right. Item 2.7, discussion and presentation on resiliency 101. Mr. Dominguez.
Afternoon, board members. My name is Javier Dominguez, and I'm a transportation planner here at the MPO. I'm here today to give you a brief update on our transportation resiliency plan. We hosted our first kickoff meeting on Thursday, September 30th, with 21 attendees from across the region. This was in hopes of gathering interest, the formation of our resiliency subcommittee in preparation for the Texas statewide plan. We first want to thank the attendees for joining, providing feedback and invaluable suggestions. Some of those attendees were from TCEQ, the City of Mission, UTRGV, Cameron County Emergency Communications District 911, and the LRGVTC. During this meeting, we sent out a survey to get interest on attendees if they would like to join the subcommittee, how often they would like to meet, and what type of meeting setting we would expect. That way we can set proper expectations. With 21 attendees, we had 15 express interest in joining the subcommittee. They also said they would like to meet quarterly and to offer a hybrid option in case some people would like to be there in person. We also asked the attendees that day what would be important to prepare for in regards of resiliency. The majority voted for flooding, but they also highlighted hurricanes, public health, access to multiple modes of transportation, community financial health, emergency response, evacuations and shelters, and last but not least, border and freight security. We asked how those attendees, or we asked the attendees how this subcommittee could one day address the concerns of their constituents or their agencies. And some of those responses were they would like to see more drainage projects. They would like more GIS information provided to the counties. And also a better design of construction projects as well as policies to better improve all infrastructure projects across the region. Some of our next steps are we have reached out to some of those attendees that day to have a little bit more of a one-on-one setting. We also are working on our definitions and vocabulary so that we can better define some of the aspects of the projects, such as asset and non-asset managers, and when those stakeholders, future stakeholders, could expect for us to reach out to them. That is where we're at right now. We're working on working on defining those definitions and establishing the expectations for the attendees in future meetings. We've already reached out to Cameron County. We're also going to be reaching out to Starr County as well as the county RMAs. And I'm done with the update. Sorry, if you have any questions, I'm able to answer them now.
When do you hope to have at least a draft of the region-wide plan will be updated every 2 years?
Our working timeline right now is within the next year. Yes, so next year, sometime this time next year. But we understand with the meetings that we're having and having to schedule more one-on-one settings, that timeline might change, might be sooner, might be later. We're very flexible. This is very new. Good thing is that other MPOs and other council of governments have also worked on projects like this, like Houston, and so we're really heavily leaning on our counterparts across the state. Also working with DTI. They already have working groups set up, and they partnered us up with MPOs that are likewise situations, such as we're in the Gulf Coast region with Corpus Christi as well.
Don't reinvent the wheel if you.
Yes, that's one of the biggest things. We want to make sure that we reach out to everyone to see what's going on across the region, so that we can just make sure everyone's on the same page. It's a great question. So our primary responsibility is transportation planning, but we also don't want to discourage attendees who come there. We also want to provide this as a platform for people to meet and discuss resiliency. So if they come across someone who's a non-asset manager who works with the colonials, for example, and we somehow find a possibility for them, then we would love if they are to communicate at one of our meetings and find a grant opportunity for them. But ultimately, our plan is transportation planning. One of the low-hanging fruit that we've already identified is something that we would like to work on is project selection, project support criteria. So how can we implement resiliency for our open calls? Distribute the money that we get. So that's one way that the attendees can get a quick return on investment on their time being part of the subcommittee.
Anybody else? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 4, RGVMPO Executive Director's Report and Updates. Mr. Cannon.
Yes, sir. Two quick items. One being the budget. In your material provided, see, you should be at about 96% closed out. We're closer to 82. We expect some final billing to come and close that out for the year. The important part for us is on the subtask, which is 1 through 5, as you can see there to the left. We have to be 75% or greater. We're all above that. So we're going to finish under budget, but definitely within confines of what our recommendation for Federal Highway is spending fund. So that's the good news. The other thing I'd like to briefly mention is we will be panhandling to some sponsorship opportunities. We're hoping in December to have an open house opportunity at the new offices in Edinburgh to bring everybody over, and then we'll of course have to first coordinate something similar with the city of Brownsville. Those are city offices. We have a little bit of a different restrictions, but we want to have the opportunity to invite everybody on the policy board and the public over to the new offices in Edinburgh so you can become familiar with where staff is and give us time to meet the staff that are trying to work for you over the next couple of years. So we'll be working to have that in December.
Very good. Any questions? Status reports. TxDOT project status.
Good afternoon, members of the board. I'm very excited to be back and present to you all the construction project updates on behalf of TxDOT. My name is Nayeli Parra, and I am in the primary office. I will be presenting an update on a couple of projects in Hidalgo County, and after that, Mr. Carlos Ceballos from the San Pedro area office presenting on the project in Cameron County. The first update will be on the State Highway 186 project. The limits of the project are from the Expressway US 281 to the Hidalgo Willis. This project consists of the reconstruction and widening of the existing roadway. The contractor is Weslaco, and the project is 88% completed as of today. The estimated completion date is November 2021, which is next month. Right, there you go. This picture here was taken facing east, and we can see that the south side of the road is already completed. And the traffic is currently driving on that side throughout the project. The contractor is currently laying down the final 1.5 inch of super paved layer on the north side of the road, which are going to be the. After the final layer is completed, the only work that's going to be left is the installation of the permanent striping and the sign. The second project that I'm going to try to concentrate on is a US 80 project. The limits of this project are from 2.2 miles west of FM 2221 to FM 20, also known as Harachi. This project consists of the rehabilitation of an existing non-freeway facility that includes the east and westbound lanes. The contractor is paving, and the project is 99% completed as of today. The estimated completion. In this first picture, we can all see how the westbound lanes looked when they were under construction. And on the next picture,
we have the first donation to the kitty. You'll remember now, won't you? Go ahead, sorry.
And in this picture, you can see how the westbound lanes look now with the brand new retroreflective structure and milled-in rumble strips along the edge line as a safety measure for the truck. This next slide is of the eastbound lanes, and the picture was taken facing east. We can see how the lanes look construction was completed. And in this picture, we can see how they look now. These are the eastbound lanes. You'll have retroreflective striping and milled-in rumble strips along the edge lines. And now I'll pass it on to Mr. Ceballos. Thank you.
Get to you, Lisa, a little quicker now. Pancho, is that what you're worried about?
Good afternoon. My name is Carlos Ceballos. I'm with the San Benito area office, and I'll be giving you an update on the projects in Cameron County. The first project we have is FM 1732. This project is located Olmito, north of Brownsville area. The limits of the projects are from 281 to I-69 to the expressway. The contractor foremost paving. The project is about 50% complete. Estimated completion date is October of 2022. As you can see in this area, the contractor working on the earthwork operations on the north side of the road. They're currently working between Carmen Avenue and FM 1421. And we're getting ready to finalize this section of the road, this north half, and should be paving in the next few days. And as you may recall in that project, the western part between military and 21 is already completed. And after we complete the section, we're going to move and complete the area from New Carmen to the from Carmen Avenue to the. The next project is FM 802 in Bronzeville. The limits of the projects are from FM 1847 to Old Port Isabel Road. This project involves the construction of raised medians, roadway widening, and overlay. And the contractor is Texas Cordia. The project is about 60% complete. Estimated completion date is February of 2022.
We have two sponsors now for the office events in Edinburgh.
And this project, you see, we're working on the abutment there. We're getting ready to finalize that, complete that bridge winding, middle of the project. You will see here, we already constructed the abutment, you know, the end structures, and we're getting ready to place the beams here in the next few days. And that's all we have, Cameron County.
Any questions? No? All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we have the Cameron County RMA. Mr. Sepulveda.
Judge and committee members. So the Southport Connector Road winding down construction is 90% complete. As a matter of fact, with coordination between TxDOT and the Port of Brownsville, we've already utilized some sections of the road to transport some equipment from the Port of Brownsville to the SpaceX location. So contractor should be done by the end of the year, and then we'll fully open it to the public. The expansion of the Veterans Bridge, just going through a step revision. So hopefully the first quarter of next year we let the project, project, working on the PSNE, 90% complete. We had a meeting last week from Union Pacific. I think we were able to come to an agreement on the design of a segment road that structure that goes over the railroad lines. We're going to put our in writing and proceed to 100% East Loop project. Notification from TxDOT this morning on the approval of the 90% schematics. We continue to work on the document. We're pending a meeting with TxDOT. That should happen next week. And then we'll talk to PSNE. West Rail Trail. Friday, City of Brownsville will host a groundbreaking ceremony. That either have a conference board or we'll have a contractor on board. And construction should begin in the next couple of weeks. This is the last time that slide. Florida, Ohio, residential permit application to the State Department, and we're waiting from the State Department or any other agency. Morrison Road, on hold pending the functional classification that we worked through Federal Highway the RGV staff. Old Dallas Road, we've done the pretty much complete with that. We're working environmental documents, have environmental clearance in the next months. The project is fully funded construction that we'll try and work with TxDOT and the MPO to accelerate the project letting. FM 509 working as well. SPI second access, begin to work with TxDOT scope of the environment phase to uh, the environmental document, an EIS for the environmental document will be funded between the county, the city of South Padre Island, South Parallel Corridor Phase project will be led in December. So we're ready to go to South Parallel Corridor Phase 3, county funding, the engineering, preliminary engineering, acquisition, as well as utility locations for the project. 281 Connect, looking at utilizing local money to advance the preliminary the project as well. Was required on pending functional classification. Ripple Road, we've submitted a schematic to TxDOT pending to receive any comments from TxDOT that we and submit the 90 TxDOT. US 70 next Tuesday, another signing ceremony, another by 69, 4 miles south of Highway 4 in Sound, the I-69 or the Alliance 69 here. So that's a couple of that will that meet interstate standard that so on our system project, we went live with our Fuego tag last Thursday. So still trying to work out a couple of systems, but for the most part, the system is working the way it should be. We're complete. We think that at the end of this week should be fully functional, but so far good. Reception from the public. After this one, our next project convert the national bridges in Cameron County into our toll tag, and then all the South Padre Islands. So the next 6 months or so, we'll be busy converting the bridge complex system to ours, and also parks at the island interoperable with those locations. That completes my presentation.
Thank you, Pete. All right. Next, we have the Hidalgo County.
Good afternoon, Judge Levine, board members. My name is Ramon Barro. I'm the construction engineer for the Hidalgo County Regional Mobility Authority, and I'm here to present you with an update on our major projects. Starting off with page 6. Get there? There you go. Page 5, excuse me. Recent news: 365 let on October 18th. We received 3 bids, ranging anywhere from 295 million. 340 million, in a variety of 15 to 31% over the engineer's estimate. On the 19th, he had a special board meeting. The board awarded to the lowest responsible bidder, Fullest Construction, better known as PCI, in the amount of 295,932,420.05. That's a number I'm memorized for here to the next 3 years. We'll get it down. There was a caveat in the letting or the award of contract. The board did require that we enter into ECP negotiations, value engineering concept proposal, which we're hoping to bring the project back into budget or closer to budget before issuing notes to proceed. But we have captured a cost to go forth with the bonds and start the financial team into their motion and getting things set. We anticipate this being in the latter part of the year. Probably in December, we'll go out for rating meetings and issue notes to proceed in the beginning of the next year, sometime around February. Any questions on 65?
Just real quick, the difference was how much approximately?
$37 million.
That was yeah,
14%.
14%.
Yes, sir. Going on to IPC, we are. Let's see here. We anticipate having NEPA comments by the beginning of the year, and entering into public hearings. That way, we can proceed with advanced engineering by mid-year of 2022. If all goes well, we should anticipate letting date 2023 to 2024 in good rates and we get funding and everything goes well. We get a good strategic plan together here and the STIP goes with everybody's favor. All right. With that being said, move on to page 14, which are the permits. To date, this year we've issued 31,404 permits. This month we had an increase of approximately 281 permits, or 10.9%, going from 2,585 to 2,866 if my eyes giving me, I forgot my glasses, but you can go with that. And as far as our construction index, costs keep going up, interests keep going up, and you can see the demand for aggregate, concrete, brick, everything has gone up for the exception of the major class 5. They went down by 0.1%. So as demand is up and material costs are up, so time is our enemy. We need to get these projects and these costs captured as soon as possible, and we are diligently to do so. Any questions I'm entertained at this time?
I'm sure we could work out some of the consultants we work with, see if anybody be willing to crunch numbers over a time frame for and provide that to everybody.
They'll do it with the huge disclaimer, so I don't know how much it'll be worth.
That's what I was going to say, that you can anticipate an optimal cost, but that optimal has a big delta in it, and the risk is going to be variant dependent upon what happens in the economy and our political system worldwide.
We thought that the materials shortage was kind of stabilizing, and now we're hearing that that was a very short time frame, so it's on its way up again.
Yes, sir. And the economy's yo-yoing right now. One day the interest market is down, the next day it's up, sort of like a Bitcoin.
If I may, I wanted to ask, I apologize.
No,
I wanted
go
to
ahead.
ask you or I'm glad the project's moving forward, but we haven't really had a discussion on how it's going to tie in with Interstate 2.
Those are discussions TxDOT and the RMA and partners will be coming to for conceptual concepts. It's still got SH68 that's pending on the table. I think we need to finalize that schematic and that alignment before we move forward and putting in placement of a bridge. We need to know where it's going first.
No, I agree with you. It's just my concern is it's going to serve and work and do what we want it to do, which is moving the freight to and from the bridges faster. But then if we just dump it at grade at the interstate, then we just have backed up lights and we're moving the funnel from one area to another.
That's with anticipating IBTC coming into play. It's all one big study when we started doing this back in 2018, I believe it was. They said one hand couldn't function without the other. We're getting to that point to where we're going to have to start talking about functionality and how all of this system is going to tie together with the region, not just in the McAllen area, but regional wide.
Yeah, so if I may elaborate, one thing to keep in mind, Code 365, it's already led, we'll go through that process. IBTC is done in a phased approach. Phase 1 would basically have frontage roads tying in, on IBTC frontage roads tying into eastbound frontage of I-2. We have already identified possible opportunities. We put out a long plan, sent out, I guess, a month ago or so, that talks about possible interchange one day on I-2, IBTC, and State Highway 58. And so there's going to be projects in the horizon that will enable us to carry freight from the border to Interstate 2 and out of the valley. So there are plans in place to make that happen. They want to address Frank's question. Frank, one of the things that we're doing at TxDOT is we're anticipating a 4% inflation per year. And that helps basically program X amount of money future construction. It is imperative that TxDOT
and consultants doing work for the local governments update their estimates as we go. So we can have a better representation of what the project will cost and how much funding will be. All is said and done, project's on the shelf. That'll help us deliver them faster.
Another comment to that, sir, is that TxDOT does post a highway cost index on a monthly basis based off of the total or off of all the statewide bids, and they track costs and increases and percentages. That would be a good resource to be able to utilize. Yes, sir, in the future, but like I said, nobody has that crystal ball. If I did, I wouldn't be.
If they did, we'd all invested in cryptocurrency. All right.
Thank you, sir.
No further questions. Thank you, Mr. Navarro. Regional Transit Metro.
Good afternoon. My name is Tracy Arcias. I am the transit manager for Brownsville Metro. Today, I will be presenting the regional transit report. For the month of August, Brownsville Metro had ridership of 65,869 riders. On this page, you can see the trend is going back up on our ridership. However, over the next few months, we expect it to go up even further. Revenue hours have gone up, and so has our revenue miles. For Island Metro, their ridership was 24,065 for the month of August. They are also seeing an upward trend. For McAllen Metro, their ridership was 39,124. And they are also going towards an upward trend. Valley Metro's ridership was 31,378 for the month of August. And they are also seeing an increase in ridership. Our overall ridership for the month of August was 160,436 riders. That's our monthly report. Is there any questions? Yes, let me go. Yes. Pre-pandemic, for example, in Brownsville Metro, we had, I can't see the number clearly, I think it was 140,000 riders for the month of August in 2019. And then we went down to 40,000. And so we're going back upwards. We do expect next month to have ridership a little bit higher because we did open our routes to have 54 passengers per bus.
Is it safe to say region-wide we're about halfway back from pre-pandemic level? Pretty close? Okay.
For example, Brownsville Metro, we're at 62%.
Any other questions? Thank you. Thank you, Chris. All right, item 6, other business, old or new.
Judge, if I may.
Go ahead, Pete.
At TxDOT, we have a new initiative. It's called Rack 'em and Stack 'em. And the initiative of Rack 'em and Stack basically is to get projects ready. The Rack 'em portion of this is the districts statewide are to develop projects, have them ready to go, and then we send them up to Austin so that they can be ready on the shelf to go to construction. That's the stack 'em part. The main reason for this is over the last year, TxDOT statewide, we were about $800 million short of our engineer's estimate. What does that mean? So what we projected as far as engineer's estimate, the bids came in $800 million below that. When that happens, we had an opportunity to let $800 million more projects statewide. So everyone throughout the state submitted candidates and several projects were going to letting. In an effort to minimize that from happening again, our goal is to have a stack 'em, if you will, about $800 million to $1.5 billion. Projects available, shovel ready to go to bid should the money be available. We have been asked here in the FAR district to develop $20 million of projects and just have them there on the shelf. We are in the process of doing that, mostly rehabilitation type projects. However, we are looking at category 2, which is on-system ability projects, category 6, bridge projects, category 7, the MPO funding for off-system projects, and category 8 for safety projects. We are trying to develop other projects, have them on the shelf to compete for this funding. The request that we have for the local governments is continue to develop your projects. Let's get those projects shovel ready. We play a role in that. We understand and sensitive to that. So continue to coordinate with the MPO and the TxDOT staff to ensure that we are doing anything that's reasonable and feasible to get those projects shovel ready sooner than later. I'll pause and see if there's any questions.
Following up on what you just said, again, let me give credit where credit is due. As we had the discussions with regards to the merging of the three MPOs and then beginning the operations, Mayor Ambrosio and myself were adamant. We had rack and stack before you did, Pete. So, and that's why we want to continue to see all of our local entities get these projects shovel ready so that there's no more excuse from the TxDOT perspective that, well, you're missing X, you're missing this. That's why, for example, the county and the island and RMA are in the environmental on the causeway. And I know that Hidalgo is doing, and the RMA doing some with regards to the IBTC and the 365, but there's a lot of other projects. So we're going to hold you to it. You know, we want to get these projects shovel ready, well, regardless of the end of the valley, whether it's one end or in the middle or anywhere else. The MPO will support those shovel-ready projects, and everybody's got to understand that if his project, if Mayor's project is ready to go and mine isn't, that's the way it works, and vice versa. And we've been following to that, and we're going to continue to stick to that. So the fact now that the state is giving us even a better incentive, in other words, some direction that if we get this done, if you're shovel-ready, it makes our projects more attractive. That's something to shoot forward. And I want to give the Mayor credit. That was something that he and I since day one, and he was at. What are you laugh smiling at, right? You got shovel projects, right? You have to. You have to. If that project, small or large, whatever community it is, if it's that important to you, we can't keep waiting on the state to come to our rescue. We already saw a change in interpretation of funding a few months ago. So it's to our benefit to get everything as much as we can ready so that we don't have those problems. They can't come back to and say, well, you know, you don't have the engineering, you don't have the environment, you don't have this. Sometimes it's very difficult, and that's where the MPOs and the RMAs come into play, and the larger players to help smaller communities. But I think it's incumbent upon the MPO to help. But yeah, everybody's got a more productive process. Thank you, Pete. Anything else with regards to old or new business? All right. Are there any closing words? All right. All right. Our next meeting then will be December 15th. And then the next will be January 19th. So we be okay. All right. With that, is our motion to adjourn? Motion by the mayor, second by Mayor Mendez. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.